Okay, welcome to, I guess, my sort of final thoughts. I keep saying final thoughts, I don't know, that's not the right term. Yeah, sort of a look back at this factory and what a mess it became. I suppose the best thing to think about would be, well, the first thing to do is see, we launched 7 rockets in total, and several of them without anything in them. But it worked. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's start at the beginning. Here's where we started. Power setup, of course, was up here. And we had smelting into here for the iron from this massive patch that's research gone. Sorry about that. Yeah, this huge patch of ores that were here, and I think the copper is still here. It's just the iron that got eaten up in the end. I suppose it makes sense. That's kind of the big takeaway from this factory is it didn't take much to get it working. I mean, this was actually, I mean, now it's 2 yellow belts, but it was just 1 yellow belt's worth of iron and a yellow belt of copper, and that pretty much lasted. Even the circuits, that lasted pretty much for everything. When did it start to die? We got down here, so we did a belt factory, we did red science and green science, and military science, I believe. Where do they get made? Oh, they were getting made here, just straight off the end of this, and then we moved it somewhere else. But yeah, it was only off what, 4 circuit factories. Granted, this I think will eat an entire yellow belt of copper to produce 2/3 of a yellow belt of green circuits. In theory, it means this belt couldn't actually support them. There's not enough throughput on this belt. Maybe that's not right. These would produce, they each produce 2 a second, so it's 8 a second, 6 a second. So no, actually, one side of the belt is fine. I think if we had another one of these, it would eat a whole copper belt. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think we only started to run out of iron when we started, what did we start doing? That's when we started really going on belts for things. And we started to do that here, we had to build another one. But it lasted a long time. And then what have we got here? Blue science, engines, other engines, robots, more blue science. But yeah, I think the one big takeaway from this is, I keep zooming in and out, but is that this was easily able to keep up pace with my building, at least, up until we needed to actually build processors. And processors took a lot of materials, I mean a lot. This tiny little factory here was using all these furnaces, pretty much, and this column of furnaces over here, just to produce enough to make this work. And these guys take a lot of copper as well. And the other problem we had was, the problem we still got, is that we don't have enough of these guys running. But it does look like we're keeping up now. Well, if we had in that this huge setup over here. But this doesn't seem to be keeping up with the science. Is that right? 15 seconds. 14 seconds. There needs to be slightly more. There is slightly more. So it must just be this split here that sends it off to rocket production. Not doing that. We can actually kill that to science production. We're not researching anything anymore. No need to research. Speaking of which, how far did we get with that? We did research all the actual researches, it's just upgrades that were left. It'd be a pretty good job. Of course we can look in here, I suppose. Consumption, so there's a little bit of extra science we did when this game when this save started, but this should be pretty accurate. Consumption, science backs, 44,000 red, 43,000 green, 32 blue, 16. Really? I suppose that makes sense. There's a few things that you use production, high tech, and don't use production. Same with military. Where's military? There it is, 19k. We did pretty well. Did we actually use any space science at any point? It's not up here, is it? Where is it? Where would it be? Somewhere near the bottom, clearly. No, it wasn't like we actually researched anything that used space science. Pressing all the wrong buttons. But yeah, alright, let's actually look at some of this up. What are the other big headline things we made? 9 million copper cable, okay. 5.8 thousand, so that's actually enough. Well, we got 7 out of that, so productivity's factored into that and made that number weird. But 6 million, 4 and 5 million iron and copper cable, iron and copper plates. Not bad. 4.6 thousand defender capsules. 1,000, really? Did we even use these? God, choking. Cost still not gone away, clearly. I suppose the problem was we died, didn't we? We picked a load up. They would have delivered a load more to us. Yeah, this kept going quite well. This factory worked surprisingly well as well. Because I was looking through, I did make a time lapse, but I'm not going to post it because it's lots of this, which is not good to watch. Well, I thought last month was alright, but I think that was probably mainly because it was moving linearly rather than like all over the place. This one was, ugh. But yeah, no, episode 10 we had production science up and running. So we had production science. I made this, I think, before I did blue science. No, because it takes electric engines, so I would have built this first. So I had pretty much all the sciences, well, the main sciences, done by episode 10. And working like decently well as well. I think there's a bit to learn there from the fact that, you know, we just placed stuff down and just put it down wherever it would fit and then just routed things to it. Like, you know, this circuit factory needed copper and iron, so we just built it in between the copper and the iron. I also kind of knew it was going to be important, so I suppose I kind of put it centrally for that reason. There's very little in the way of copper usage as well in the early game. I mean, look, this thing doesn't branch hardly ever. Where's it branch? So it comes out of the smelting. It goes up into science to make red science. Then it comes up here to make circuits, which also leads up to gun turret production apparently. Fair enough. We're still a little bit here for solar panels. And then it's not up until I automated the these bits, nuclear reactor bits, that we used it again. I mean, we did have over here in the steel setup, which I'm surprised kept up so well actually. It's now starting to like die for some reason. I'm not quite sure why either. I'm not sure what we've connected to it, because it didn't seem to ever have any issues until it ran out of ore. Maybe that was it. Maybe it just had a backlog of steel in all the furnaces. That's a lot. There's a lot of furnaces. That's find out how many. 24 furnaces with steel in. That'd be 2,500 steel. Yeah, 2,500 steel. quite a bit. But yeah, we came with this. We had a little bit of copper here for these guys, but still, that could have easily come off there without any issue. And again, it wasn't until we needed processors that we had issues. And I mean, this processor build, maybe this was a bit. Well, I mean, it's not that over the top. How many do I need for this? 8 of these guys. They run, so it's 6. How does that work? Where does the 6 come? Well, the 6 comes from timesing it by 3/4, but how many of these make? You'd need. These take 14 seconds. So to make one a second, you'd need 14 divided by 3/4, which is a number. It's like 15, 16 area. We have 8. So we are making one a second actually with these, but it's only a craft every 2 seconds. So we only need a processor every 2 seconds, which this I don't think could have kept up with ever. I don't think it's far off for processors. 10 seconds and we have 6. So we need one every 2 seconds, which means we would have needed 5 by 3/4, so actually 6 is almost there. If we had one more of these, it would have been able to keep up. That's actually surprising. We needed so little. Well, we needed so little for this. We didn't need so little for this. But I'm guessing this is all backed up. I mean, this is all on. These trains are messed up as hell. Over here, though, no, it's not backed up. But I think we are struggling. Yeah, we're struggling on iron and copper supply. It looks like. Probably need to reroute these belts a bit, or maybe make these red splitters just to speed things through a bit faster. But yeah, we're certainly lacking in iron coming through into here. Red circuits though, red circuits good. This is quite a nice build. It takes in is it half a yellow belt of. Anyway, it's a nice little build. It basically takes an amount of stuff, but it makes 2 assembler a second. And these are, of course, 0.75, so slightly less. This is still going. This is still good. But we could easily hook this up to some more iron. I mean, we've got some iron over here. We could belt that in, or we could just train some in from here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. On the whole thing, I'm pretty happy. Actually, I think I'm going to try and take away some of the things, especially this like early setup, because I mean, we had episode 1. I spent I think it's about an hour of playtime, including the beginning, all the way up to when I had this initial science set up. Like the initial science is that it was actually around here somewhere. I can't remember if it was actually these machines, but it was something like this. Instead of this guy into this guy into a. That might have been it actually. The 4 labs there. Maybe I rearranged them. I forget. That was pretty much our initial science setup in here. And this worked really well. Alright. This worked really well for getting us off the ground quickly. You know, circuits straight into inserter production, iron coming up into belt production. And I think we could have done with more gear assemblers when we were using these. Because I mean, if I grab all, I can't grab all those. I put a chest down, dump everything in my inventory out of it, and then I grab all of them. Yeah, see, this starts to go down very quickly. And then we're also using the same feed to feed into things like these guys. And these guys take a lot of iron. The mining drills and the assemblers. Bizarrely, they take exactly the same resources for all three of these, and something else that I can't remember. Uses the same resources. It's over here somewhere. I mean, assemblers take the same resources, but I mean, it's something that takes like the same amount of resources as well. Same ratio. Probably something on the same page, to be honest, in that situation. That's relatively similar. It swaps out the copper for the iron for the pipes, and then you've got steel as well. I'm sure there was something that used basically exactly the same materials. Can't see what though. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. I thought there was. Something in here, is it? No. I think it's radar. Yeah, radars. It's almost the same ratio. I was going to build radars up here, but I thought I couldn't fit them in. There was no way I was going to be able to fit them in up there. Where did they end up? How did we get radars into the satellite builder? Where is the satellite builder? Here it is. I know we do accumulators and satellites and solar panels by robot. Radars are on this belt, which came from pretty much as far away as it. Oh, right, because I made an extra one of these, didn't I? I just shoved radars on the end. Yeah, I think this level of disorganisation is not good, but it's also not necessarily bad. I think there's probably space for, well, there's scope for shoving things down wherever they fit, rather than just making everything super neat, especially for speed. Like I said, I mean, the July series, I almost didn't launch a rocket. In fact, I had to I cheated basically, and did a load of time-lapse stuff to be able to launch a rocket. Like 38 hours instead of 30. Whereas this one, we could have done rockets a lot earlier. Bizarrely, I just sort of got sidetracked once we had the tech for rockets and did other things. We could have had rockets probably around, I think it's episode 4. I think we had them around 40. We probably could have had them around 30. I mean, we had all the science set up in episode 10, and then we just had problems with high tech. Which, yes, this reminds me. What the hell was this mess? I mean, it's like a nice idea of having like a rotating pattern, but god awful idea to do. It worked. At the end of the day, that's what really matters, isn't it? It worked, but it would have been a lot better if I'd just done that. Right, that's how tired apparently I am. And the other problem we had was always this. This place never had enough resources to keep it going. And kind of still seems like it doesn't, even though it's got the trains now. I think there's one too many trains on here, because this is a copper train. This one, oh no, you're iron. I think there's a copper train somewhere that shouldn't be. You're copper. You're iron. Copper, but is that, yeah, it's that one. I'm sure I put 3 copper trains down and only 2 iron. You're going for iron, that's something else. This design was silly. I mean, I should really double up the track in places. This is why you don't build a single line track, because it fills up too quickly. Alright, yeah, 1, 2. No, it's just 2 of each. Huh. Odd. I don't know. But whilst this track design was a bit silly... No, this is backed up? Why is this backed up? Because this is backed up, I'm guessing? Yeah, these guys are full of the crap uranium. This belt is full of good uranium. I like this pattern, those two out in there. So yeah, this was never going to be. This was never enough resources up here. Just the amount you could mine out in a minute, in a period, was just too short. This setup though, the original setup was, I mean, it's like kind of a good idea, but awful throughput. But oh, did we do it like that? Oh, in that case, I should fixing this now. No, never going to use it, but we should have it like that because we've got. This was for when we had the. Well, I thought we had a single thing. Words, come on. We're going to be loading onto one side of the belt, and this would have been loading onto the other side of the belt. But as soon as we load both sides here to get the output from this high enough, yeah, it should merge in like that. But the problem, of course, is we are now full on copper. So robot sorting is better. Because you can run out of space, but you can always just add more chests. Whereas this, once you run out of space, it just gridlocks. And it's difficult to just add chests. I mean, I can do something like this. But then the problem is, I'm going to be stealing from my supply line. So even though no copper is going to get through to actually fill up these chests. Which is, yeah, swings and roundabouts. Probably, I mean, this one we've got pretty much dedicated iron and dedicated copper. There's a bit of iron going in this one, but this one is just copper. Is just iron. And it's a shame this didn't work as well as I thought it did. Because these guys don't put onto the right side of, well, they both put on the same side when they shouldn't. This one should put on the bottom, but it puts on the top of an underground. If I, is it there as well? That's not right. I meant to put on the right of a belt. So if you have chest, put an inserter on each direction. They should put on the far side. If a belt's like that, it should always go on the far side, no matter which direction it is. But if they're like that, they're meant to put on the right. But clearly, well, in this way around, they'll do it. The issue is the other way around. Get power pole which can cover them. See? Right hand side, right hand side, right hand side, right hand side. Issue is that if you pick up these guys, and I assume it does the same thing vertically. Can't see why it wouldn't. Let's do an underground belt and an underground belt, and put the power back. Yeah. They're all loading on the same side. This guy loading on the left when they should be loading on the right. And the same with this one. It's the right as far as the belt is concerned, but it's the left as far as the inserter is concerned. So I guess it's programmed to the belt, not to the inserters, which is annoying because it means this didn't work. I mean, I have to do this, which is not as good because, as you can see, if these guys aren't working, you get these breaks in the line. That's easy to see here. Huge breaks, even though these chests, or those chests aren't full, but even if the chests are full, like these copper ones are, just these massive breaks in the line, and they shouldn't be. Not from 4. But, no well. Anyway, so that was nice. I am kind of stalling for time. I want to launch another rocket. But, I suppose the last thing to look at here is the uranium setup. I kind of like. It's better than the one from last month. The one from last month, of course, was not extensible. Extendable. And granted, this one kind of isn't either, because it's set up for 4 with the 200% bonus on each one. If you do another set here and here, these middle ones get 300% bonuses, and so you need more of this stuff. I think it worked out well. It looks quite nice. It's a bit long and impossible to get through, but I think it works. What are these guys? I don't know how so many of those guys ended up in chests. I must have just picked like hundreds of them out of the air and they got dumped into an auto trash. It's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, let's go wreck set up. I think it's pretty easy to set this up to do this. The only problem I had with this was the nuclear missiles took all the good uranium, which of course we stopped with a little bit of combinator magic. We could easily fix that with it's not really a splitter. That takes too much off. But you could probably do something with this belt, with an inserter with a bit of wire conditions on it. Maybe even just a splitter with a wire condition on the belt to this chest, and say this chest has got so much in, then you can run and send it off to nuclear missile production. Which is basically what we do over there. We just request it if there's enough in here, which there is most of the time now. Yeah, I like this. This is nice. This is just awful. There's 3 trains here. I'm glad this one isn't going anywhere, but yeah, this doesn't work. Now we should be like this. Okay, no, let's get rid of that. I don't know why I'm doing this, because as soon as I'm done with this video, the save is it's not going anywhere, but it's not going to get used again. There we go. Do that, and then you do signals are on me, that's why I can't see them. Chain on the output. Okay. And regular on the input. Almost got there, and they decided to go away. I don't have any. Okay. Chain and a regular. Yeah, that's all passing place. Let the trains get through more easily. But really, this should be doubled up, and then we'd want like a through station rather than an in-out station. So they come in and they go out from the top and loop back down on themselves. So that come in here, go into all the stations, come out the top, and then come back down. But this whole point was to make it kind of inefficient. Right, let's go look at the rocket, see what it's done. Next month though, next month is interesting. It's a ribbon world. So you've only got so much height to play with. I've had some ideas for how to make the video a bit better. Namely, disabling the bloody scroll wheel. Ready. Okay, first off, that's unticked. Good. Doesn't have a thing because P destroyed its ability to have said thing. This guy We don't want you to have that. We want you to have a car. And this is going to be it for this episode. What? No, let me... Car in inventory? Let me in. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Oh, idiot. When I was taking off, I was furiously pressing enter trying to get into the car. I remapped it to V. Idiot. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for watching this series. Next time... Well, next month. Well, it's September already for me. So definitely September when this comes out. Yeah, next month we've got a Ribbon World to play with. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. See you next time.